and welcome to momentUM. I'm your host, Sydney Fields. momentUM is a talk show created by students in the Mass Communication program to talk about what's happening at the moment at UM. But before we jump into our topics, let's meet our co-hosts. Right next to me, we've got Gerald Cunningham, we've got Kirsten Roberts, and Carmela Williams. How are y'all doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing
We're
excellent.
doing really good.
Excellent.
Winding down the semester, getting
Yes.
ready for finals.
Seems like it's speeding up.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know about winding down.
It's the final stretch. It's the fourth
Of course,
quarter.
you know, it's like once you get back from spring break, it's like teachers all of a sudden are like, you have 4 papers and a video project for us, and it's a big
Five
one.
projects on
you
top
know?
of each other.
I feel like with spring break, it's kind of like a mean tease for summer, which is almost there.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. And you're about to graduate, right?
Yeah.
So it's even, congratulations.
I know, right? And then like trying to move out of an apartment, it is
Big girl
stressful.
problems.
You got it.
Grown-up problems.
But let's take a look at the first talk of the moment. There's been a lot of talk about the construction happening near Flower Hill, where UM is restoring its long-forgotten amphitheater. Kirsten, you had a chance to find out about the project. What'd you find?
Basically, it was like in the 70s. It was built. You know, they used it, but it became forgotten. You know, it's forgotten at this point. You know, a lot of the bricks are actually used in parts of the campus now. They use them to like redo the bricks. 'Cause, you know, bricks are expensive.
Yeah.
You know, there's not a lot of brick mills anymore. So, you know, you gotta use it for your money. And they use it for concerts and a lot of outdoor events on campus. They use it, but now, you know, it's kind of the grass covered it. So they're trying to restore it so that students can use it, and it could be another, you know, selling point for prospective students.
Okay, so do you know, like, do you have any idea what they're going to use it for exactly? Like plays,
Well,
college night?
when I talked to the guy that's over it, he was saying that he could see it being used for numerous events, even having like artists come back and perform on it, because he was saying that eventually he wants to put a sound system out there and put the chords and all that stuff, you know, but that costs a lot more money than we have right now. So of course they're fundraising for that. But yeah, he even said that maybe graduation could be there because Flower Hill is actually smaller than the amphitheater. So the amphitheater could actually hold a lot more people more comfortably than at Flower Hill.
Cool. But you also got to make a package about it, so that's what, let's take a look at that now.
The UM Amphitheater is in its home stretch of Phase 1. Find out what students can see in 2015. Work is back underway on the reconstruction of the amphitheater. Before spring break, the work was at a halt due to bad weather, but now students can see workers back at it this week. School plant director Billy Hughes, who oversees the project, explains how he came to discover where the theater was on campus.
Where the original brick were, I started finding more and more brick, you know, when I was seeking the perimeter in the borders. And after about 2 months, a lot of probing, I found the whole outline of the amphitheater.
With this historic background, Hughes says that he could see many organizations use the amphitheater for events like shows through the theater department, Greek organizations, and even college night.
All sorts of activities, from concerts to outdoor theater productions or parties for student life and the Greeks, if any of the functions that, you know, they would like to perform.
Even though Phase 1 will be complete by the beginning of next semester, the work will not be done. They are taking donations that students and alumni can purchase bricks that will be on display on the amphitheater.
The Advancement Office has started a program trying to raise money for alums to buy a brick, and the tiles are 1 brick at a time, where somebody can have their name put on a brick and installed here in the amphitheater.
That was really neat.
Yeah.
It's like a long lost treasure.
Exactly. It's something that, you know, the school could, to be honest, I mean, it will be great because there's a lot more hidden stuff on campus too. He was saying that there's a walkway that will take you from Maine all the way to the amphitheater that they could actually use, like some secret treasures hidden in Montevallo that I would like love to like come back like 50 years from now when we're old and like, oh, I remember when they were doing this. It'll be so cool.
See, that's my thing. That's what's gonna suck is we're not gonna be here when they're done building all of this stuff.
Stronghold.
Yes.
that new
Yeah.
communication
Yeah.
building.
I think the biggest thing, and it's something that you brought up, I think one of the biggest things that can come with the amphitheater is, like you said, college night. Like, to experience college night on a nice evening, you know, in February, and for it to be outside when, like, the sound system and the lights come, it's going to be a different experience, even for alumni to come back. I think it's going to be a great attraction. And then it's also going to be another thing to do on campus for prospective students that are thinking about Montevallo.
And that very first, the Take Flight weekend, they still do that with freshmen. Take flight, and they watch movies on the quad, and they have cookouts and stuff. That'd be a very good place.
Because
to
it's
do
closer
that
to a lot more of the dorms.
Yeah, exactly. That could be where the cookout is.
Yeah, it really could.
So
It's
that'd be cool.
exciting.
It's something I'm looking forward to, and I think another reason I'm looking forward to is, like you said, you know, the SAC is a great place. Don't get me wrong, but to have like a place that's set for different venues, such as musicians, you know, it brings up the opportunity, because if you try to get an artist now, it's like, okay, we'll either have to, you know, put some tarp down and have them go to the SAC, or we're not going to have as big a crowd, so we might have to do it in Farmer or Palmer.
Yeah.
But the amphitheater gives you, okay, we know it can happen here, and we know, you know, it's going to be an attractive place for everybody to want to come out, have fun, or we have like the movie nights that they have in Bibb Graves. You can have them outside, like it.
Halloween.
You're right. Yeah.
Halloween would be fun, like a haunted maze.
Oh, yeah.
They did that one year. I forget which. I think it was like 2 years ago, 2 or 3 years ago. But that'd be really fun to do it out there.
It just opens up a lot of different opportunities.
Yeah.
So, Gerald, earlier you were telling me about the new title. Tell me about that. What's that about?
Okay, hip-hop mogul Sean Carter, also known as Jay-Z, has teamed up with multiple musicians to launch a new U.S. media service known as Tidal. Tidal is trying to portray an image as the first artist-owned streaming service that cares about preserving music. Artists from Alicia Keys, Madonna, Usher, and Daft Punk are standing up for the cause. However, multiple customers have complained about the price, and they view the Tidal launch as just a rip-off scam and a way for artists to get more money. From my opinion, I do agree that I think that it is an artist scam for, you know, the majority of reasons, because they went from going, you know, like Spotify is for college students $5, $10 for a regular customer. Google Play is $10. I use Google Play personally. But Tidal is trying to, you know, showcase it for being $20 an hour. I mean, not $20 an hour, but $20 a month. And that's why a lot of people think that it's a ripoff, even though they're trying to say they're giving you the highest quality lossless audio music. And I think it's personally a ripoff as well.
So what does Tidal present to its buyers other than what Spotify, Pandora, Google Play, what do they bring?
Well, one of the main things that it has different from Spotify, which they've kind of made, the more they talk about Tidal up loud, they've made Spotify really their main source of competition, because Spotify has taken over in the last few years. And the main thing they're saying is that they also have music videos, and since it's artist owned by some of the biggest artists, they're saying it's going to be a lot more exclusive media that you can't get from Spotify. I know Nicki Minaj tweeted recently, like 2 days ago, that some of her new music was going to be Tidal exclusive. And, you know, that's big for Nicki Minaj fans, because maybe, you know, those Nicki Minaj fans that really love her would be willing to pay that $20, you know, for Tidal just to get that exclusive Nicki Minaj music.
I know a big thing with Spotify, it's good for the customers. Like, a lot of people like to use it, but I have heard that it rips off artists a lot. Not to say that they're not already really rich, but it takes a lot of money from them that they could be earning, and that's a lot of money that a lot of artists feel like they deserve. So that's probably why artists are more willing to work with Tidal and release to them new music that they're not releasing anywhere else, because they're making more money off of it. Do I think it's fair? No, because most of the people that they're marketing to are not able to afford an extra $20 a month. And so I don't think they're really looking out for their fans at all.
Exactly. I just feel like they're trying to combine so many different things. You know, like you have the music streaming, then you have, you know, a lot of artists use Vivo as a way to exclusively do videos, and they're trying to just be money hungry and combine everything together. That, I mean, artists have tried to do their own streaming service. You know, you had Beats by Dre. I mean, it didn't do well, and it was in competition with Spotify, and people still went back to Spotify. And I mean, for me, I feel like artists like Taylor Swift, who's a millionaire, multi-millionaire, to take her music off of Spotify, you know, it's not fair to her fans. But for you to put it on Tidal just because you're getting an extra 6 cents from 6 cents that you get from Spotify to 12 cents that you get from Tidal, is like, that's really hindering your fans, because let's be honest, Taylor Swift's fan base is probably what? Adolescents, girls who don't have their own money, who have to ask mommy for everything. So mommy has bills. You know,
Up
daddy
toward
has
college
bills.
age, and they have bills.
We have more bills than, you know, younger kids, and so it's like, to spend $20 just to hear a new Taylor Swift track, I will gladly wait.
Yeah, I can wait a week for it to be released.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, another thing, and I just want to, you know, let's look at it from a different perspective. I have a friend named Justin that goes to Full Sail University. It's a university in Orlando, Florida, and it's a, you know, it's one of those type of schools. And to him, he loves the idea of Tidal, because it'll be times where we'll be listening to music in my car and it'll be MP3, and he's just like, man, I have to buy the CD because the CD has the waveform. He's like, it sounds so much better, it sounds much cleaner, the bass lines are much warmer. So I don't think that's necessarily the audience that they were trying to target. I think they're trying to get everybody to see how important music is. But I think for engineers, and for like music engineers and music heads that are like that, they'll be willing to pay that $20, which is why I think they need to have, and I think they do, is the $10.99 for the MP3 and the $20. But I think the $20 is the one that's really still going to have all the exclusive content.
I have a question. Like, the Grammys, do they take into account CD sales and ticket sales? So are any of these streaming services like?
It's a very small percentage. Like, for the Grammys and for all that stuff, they're mainly focused on CD sales and tour sales. So, you know, for a lot of hip-hop artists, you know, a lot of people, let's be honest, illegally download their stuff. So that's why, you know, you see hip-hop artists really kind of digging their nails into Tidal, is because they're making more money, so then it's more noticeable to the Grammy committee. Which, I mean, in hindsight, looking at it, that's good for them, you know. Great, but it's kind of alienating your fans.
Yeah, I can see how that would be an issue. But let's move to movies now. And so the live-action remake of Cinderella premiered on March 17th, and a few other classic Disney movies are on their way to be live as well. Some include The Jungle Book, Beauty and the Beast starring Emma Watson. There's also Dumbo, Mulan, Winnie the Pooh. And there's recently also been some buzz about Pinocchio becoming a real boy. And so writer Peter Hedges is set to write the script for Disney's live action. And it's loosely based on the original Pinocchio story. And it's in early development, but it still has a long way to go. So what do y'all think about all of these classic Disney movies becoming real and live action?
I'm really excited about them. Beauty and the Beast, they picked the perfect person to play Belle. Emma Watson, like, I can't think of anybody better than her to play her.
Exactly.
Did y'all grow up watching Disney a lot, Disney movies?
Oh yeah,
classic
I
ones?
love Disney movies.
Yes, that was a way to get me to shut up. So Disney movies are a special part of my life. So this is, it's exciting because, you know, when we have kids one day, this will be cool to, like, not only show them the cartoon version, but they have, you know, the live action version. This is another way to, like, bring families together.
However, I mean, I do agree that it's an exciting, and I think it's something that needed to be, you know, tested and experimented with. However, do you, I'm just throwing this question out there, do y'all think, you know, with animated, like, I look at some of those animated movies as classics. Like, I look at Tarzan as a classic.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I look at Beauty and the Beast as a classic. A lot of people look at The Lion King as a classic.
You can't touch that.
So, you know, do you feel like there are certain Disney movies that can't be touched?
Lion King.
Lion King.
What do you mean, like, can't be made into a movie?
Like, can't be made into, like, a real-life movie. Like, should Pinocchio be touched? Or Mulan, for example.
Mulan would be difficult to be touched because that's a very large-scale issue that she had. It's not just she's trying to turn the prince from a beast to a man, like she's saving her entire country.
Exactly.
It'd be a very difficult movie to carry out.
I think it's a lot of pressure, though. I think it's a lot of pressure when it comes to making like the Beauty and the Beast. Like I know, like you said, they played the perfect person to play
Yeah,
the role, but
yeah.
it's still a lot of pressure to execute the movie to where, you know, viewers like us that grew up on the animated
Yeah.
version, like
'Cause
if you don't perform it well, it's
I'm gonna be
it's
judging
gonna-
it harshly.
Exactly.
But you know, like we have seen a lot of live action. You know, our Disney favorites have been turned into live action through the television show Once Upon a Time. And you know, if they can keep it tastefully done and good to the original, like the show Once Upon a Time, I feel like it'll be a great thing.
Yeah.
I just wonder, like, because we're going in with the mindset of, okay, Pinocchio, I've grown up with the cartoon. Like, what are you going to do with this? And Dumbo and Winnie the Pooh, like, we're going to be comparing it. But kids of like younger generations, this is going to be like the first
The
time
movies
that
that
they
they're
see
making them for. I mean, the people that they're making these movies for.
Yeah.
Like when I went to see the Cinderella movie, it was like a kindergarten in there. There were so many little kids of all ages, and they loved it. And I was sitting there like critically judging it. Like, is she really Cinderella? Am I really buying this? But the kids, this is probably the first Cinderella movie they've seen.
Yeah.
And they've probably seen the original, but this is the most recent that they've seen. So this movie is what's going to stick with them. And I think they're really good for that.
Yeah.
You know, maybe not older audiences.
What about Pitch Perfect? Pitch Perfect 2.
So excited.
Comes out May 15th. Pitch
Not that she's
Perfect 2
counting or anything.
comes out May 15th, and I'm so excited for that.
Are you gonna be there opening night?
Yes.
I'll be there opening night as well. I'm not gonna sit here and lie.
I'm gonna get my ticket in advance because the first one, like, even though none of the songs were original, there was just something so original about it. You know?
And I mean, this one, you know, they have some of the Green Bay Packer players are in it, and then they have the a cappella group, the Grammy-winning a cappella group Pentatonics. You know,
Yes.
they're in it as well. So it's like they're incorporating, you know, a cappella.
Everything.
They're incorporating everything. I mean, they have football players in there, like.
And I think a cappella is really underrated.
Yeah.
Like,
I agree.
as
I agree.
an art form, didn't the sing off a cappella?
Yeah.
The sing off helped, and that's what brought the Pentatonics into the spotlight. But I think Pitch Perfect showed just how much you can do with a cappella.
Because it's so many different. Like you don't necessarily need instruments when you have harmonizing in the background.
And everybody's so different.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, because you look at that group, and I think that's what made a lot of people like Pitch Perfect the most is because, you know, the main cast that everybody fell in love with wasn't like this picture. You know, not trying to look at it like that, but it wasn't
Picture
this
perfect.
picture perfect.
Nice
Yeah, they were
pun.
pitch perfect, not picture perfect, because there were so many different people that made this one
Yeah.
group.
I
that
mean,
sounded
Fat
so
Amy is
beautiful.
like, come on
exactly.
now.
Fat Amy is.
I
just-
run horizontally, like.
And like when Hairspray came out, Brittany Snow was in that too, you know. And I think a lot of people like Pitch Perfect because it's not your typical musical setting.
Yeah.
You know, like it's a musical, but not really. It's like faux musical.
Yeah. I see.
And I think we probably relate to it more also because it was based in college. and
Yeah.
We're in college at the time, and even though we're
They were
not
going
singing
through all
like
those
they
struggles.
are, but we still go through a
I don't
lot
know
of those
about you.
situations that they go through.
I'm just kidding.
But we went through a lot of those situations that they went through during the movie. You know, breakups or getting to know someone, or getting the the frustration part, competition.
Juggling school. and-
Yeah,
Parent
exactly. Or the
problems.
pressure,
Yeah.
or even with the pressure of her father trying to get her to do something that she didn't want to do and she didn't follow her dream. We've all come into contact with that.
Yeah.
So there's just a lot of different ways that we related to Pitch Perfect.
Yeah. Oh, I love that movie. It has a special place right here.
I have it on Blu-ray, trust me.
So, yeah.
So, Carmela, you have the next topic for us.
Right. Okay. So for our next topic, the weather is getting warmer and it's only going to get hotter as summer gets closer. And that has many people looking for ways to cool down. So our reporter Reed Strength got the scoop on one of the coolest treats in town.
Eclipse is known for coffee, cats, and most famously, milkshakes. When the restaurant opened shop back in 2002, owner Cheryl Patton knew which milkshake recipe she wanted to debut.
They were created by Greg Martin, and he ran a local coffee shop and then worked here and was generous about giving me the idea.
Martin's recipe called for 7 whole scoops of ice cream with no ice. With classic flavors like vanilla and chocolate already established, Patton let her employees' creative ideas spur their fun, famous flavors. One of these recipes calls for an entire piece of cheesecake or pecan pie dropped right into the blender. This is the all-nighter milkshake. Consisting of ground coffee and 2 shots of espresso, it could be your new best friend during finals week. Eclipse can go to 5.5 gallons of ice cream in 2 weeks to meet the demand for their shakes. The attention has resulted in sweet rewards. In 2010, Eclipse won the Birmingham Readers' Poll for Best Milkshake. Though they may take time and effort, Eclipse worker Christian Sullivan says they are always willing to whip one up for a hankering customer.
Come on, don't be worried that it takes time. It's fine, it all takes time, so it's the nature of a restaurant.
I just gotta say, Eclipse milkshakes are the best milkshakes I've ever tasted. Yes. Peanut butter chocolate is the one of choice for anybody that wants to try them.
I love Eclipse. I'm so happy that we can use our flex points there.
Yeah,
Let's
that
just
was a
say
big
that.
help last summer, because that's when it
Yes.
started, was last summer, and I was waiting on it.
Well, aren't you guys lucky to have flex points?
Oh, you live off campus.
Yes.
I do too, but you know.
Oh, do you?
It's a system. You just gotta work with it.
Yeah. It's really convenient, though. I mean, it's like you get away without actually getting away.
Yeah.
It's got the environment of, I don't know, it's just so different.
I find it like
unlike
a
any
home,
other.
like a chill vibe, because you can go in there, you know, for us that are more legal, you know, we can curl up with some wine. I feel like an adult when I do that. Like, it's so cool.
It's one of those places where you don't mind being alone because there's so much to do.
Yeah.
You can get a book, or you can, have your laptop and have a milkshake.
Pet a cat.
Yeah. And
There are a lot of different things. I know the first time I walked in and to the left, I saw like 3 old ladies like knitting or something like that. And then you go into the back and they had like an open mic night. Like like it's a lot of different things. And people,
yeah.
of all different, you see someone come up there with a guitar, someone comes up and do the spoken word. I know I did spoken word a couple of times up there. And then they have a trivia night as well. Like there's so many different things that
They
Eclipse
have
does.
shows, like local bands that play, and that's always really fun.
And they also have like a lot of local, you know, drinks there too, you know, like homegrown. So, you know,
Yeah.
that's always good for
Homemade
Made in
beers.
America. I remember me and my old roommate, we tried every milkshake. Like, that was our goal for this entire year, was to try every milkshake. And then, like, we kind of got tired by the end because we found our favorite. We were like, I don't really want to deviate from the plan. I found my
Yeah.
favorite.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But Eclipse is great.
it is.
Yeah. Well, I think I know where I'm going for dinner.
Yeah. Just let me go with you.
Okay. But that seems like it's all the time that we have for this episode. And thank you to all of my co-hosts for joining me. And I look forward to seeing you all again. And we'll catch you next time.